episode. Oh, hey, we're live.
Hey, what's up? Hey, you. Hey, you. Come on, sit down. You're sitting at the grown-ups table. I'm your host, Jesse Pimpinella, and as always, my partner in crime,
John Jacobs.
Thank you so much for joining us, and happy Wednesday to everybody. I am very excited to be talking about today's topic. We're going to be talking about Black Widow. Yes.
Real quick.
Yes.
It's really throwing me off being on the left side and not the right side.
Isn't it?
It's so confusing. Like, I feel disoriented. Like, I don't know what's going on. It's crazy.
Yes. No. Well, how about this? I'll fix it after I'm done fixing another little oopsie daisy I made. But while I fix the oopsie daisy, all right, let's talk about our yes. Well, yes, I made oopsie daisies. All right. Anyways, let's bring out our guest. So, first guest I have is my wife. Sarah. Yay!
This is her first no. She appeared on camera a couple times. This is her first full episode with us though.
Yeah.
Yes, and she is a die-hard Black Widow fan. And to the point where at one point I used to be the comic book geek in the relationship. She has overtaken me. All right.
Uh-oh.
I feel like that scene in Highlander where Connor asks Duncan to take his head off. She took my head off. All right.
Let's not bring up that moment. That's when I finally realized that Highlander was done for me. So okay. I saw that in the theater when it released, and it's a really bad memory.
I don't want to bring up bad memories.
It's okay. We'll talk about it on a future show.
I'll bring up a good memory. A good memory of this show is anytime this show is ever amazing and fun, we had this guest on at all times. So please give it up for Mr. Darth, everybody!
Woo! There he is.
I don't know if you guys have ever been in the back room. It's a white void of nothingness. And it's really, really weird.
That's we actually designed it that way. We don't like joy. We don't like joy.
Okay, I just want to make sure because it's like being caught in a Pokeball. You know you're alive, but you're not quite dead. You're just there. And
it's like that prison they send superheroes to that nullifies their powers. But Darth, you're sitting behind a white wall. So, I mean, you kind of contributed to that feeling, right?
Yeah, my wall isn't normally white. It's only white here. I don't know what you guys do.
I'm pretty sure it's white. I was at your house a month ago.
I painted this wall green 4 times. Every single time I'm on the show, it goes white.
Oh my God.
I don't understand.
It's like disappearing, reappearing ink.
Oh,
Jesse,
man.
You'll know soon. You'll know soon enough.
I'll know soon.
Said I'll know. I'll know soon enough.
I'll put it this way. Darth and I live on the same island. That's all I'm going to say. We live on the same island. And yeah, I feel like I could yell out the window and his mic might pick me up. You
guys should start doing that. Hey, Darth, what are you doing? Nothing. Jesse, what are you doing?
Darth's our man on the street.
It's going to be that Office Space moment. Hey, Jesse, you want to come over? Nah, man, you fucked up your own life.
Right. I was knocking on the wall. Come on over, man. No, I don't want to go over there.
Oh, man. All right, so let's get into it. Let's talk about Black Widow. Let's do this. So, I mean, John and I, we've been talking about this all day, but I want to hear from our guests first. And make sure everybody, before we talk to the guests, make sure you like and comment and subscribe to these videos. And comment. Let us know what you thought of Black Widow, all right? Let us know. Oh,
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off from your spiel. That was my bad. I shouldn't have done that. Look, amateur move. Sorry, guys. I was going to suggest before we kind of jump into discussion, we should probably just talk about why this film exists, what the motivation and point was for it, and how we kind of got here.
Definitely.
No. Yes. People don't seem into that.
Well, can I say one thing?
Yes.
Is this going to have spoilers in it? Because I haven't seen the movie yet.
Wait, what?
What?
He's messing with us. Oh, yeah. Spoilers. They're going to be all over this.
Does this.
Yes.
Darth knows how to sell something.
Maybe. Yeah, I think it's just his dry sense of humor that convinces.
He got all of us. He got you too. He got me definitely.
He did.
Yeah. But yeah, so let's contextualize it. So this is what now the 24th Marvel movie at this point. I think it's about that number. I mean, it depends on if you want to count.
It is. I looked it up earlier today.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So, anyways, and one of the things is everybody's been wanting a Black Widow movie. Out of the original Avengers, besides Hawkeye, which Hawkeye's getting his show later on in the year, Hawkeye and Black Widow have never had their own film. So now finally she has her own film, and this film is not furthering the storyline that is currently going on in the year 2023 in the Marvel universe, but it's going back to the time in Civil War, right after everything has went down. The Sokovian Accord is on. She is violated. She is on the run, and that sets the scene for Black Widow's adventure in this movie this time around. So let me open the floor. Darth, what did you think about the storyline? What did you think about this film in particular?
I liked it. I liked the fact that she deserved her own movie. She really did. She's was integral in a lot of parts, moving parts in the MCU for a long time. Kind of, brought what was a spy for Nick Fury during, in Iron Man. She brought in the Hulk. So she knew
people. She was a heavy recruiter. She even took an internship job with Tony just to get close to him. Like that was
True.
You know what? She went really all out. I got to give her that. Yeah,
that's what she was trained to do.
She was good. But now, Sarah, what are your thoughts on this movie as a whole?
I loved it. The action was good. I'm a diehard Black Widow fan. I thought the action was good. The writing was good. The change to Taskmaster, really liked. I thought it was solid. Whatever.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk more about Taskmaster down the road. Okay. Continue, hon.
It made up for the in-your-face, crap Captain Marvel did. With the whole, I don't even know how to word it.
What she's meaning is Captain Marvel was coming across really hard of this is a girl's movie. It's a girl's movie. It's a girl's movie. But this movie kind of was worried about standing on its own merits as a Marvel movie. It's kind of I think the whole effect of what happened with Ghostbusters with the remake. They played it so hard that the reason why you're going to see this movie is Ghostbusters with girls rather than just be a good Ghostbusters movie, which.
Yeah, Captain Marvel had to tell you it was girl power. Black Widow was just hey, look, it's girl power. Look at this.
But it's more showing, not telling.
Yeah, I agree.
Tell people it's this type of movie, not good.
Yeah, I never once got the impression that they were trying to. I'm searching for the right word. I didn't feel like they were going out of their way to say it or show it to you. They just gave you the movie, and it was there because it was a part of the movie. There wasn't anything artificial about it. There wasn't a reason to pump that up or anything because that was just the movie, and I think that really worked.
And there was no montage of women standing up.
That's what was missing from the movie.
The first time I saw it, I'm like, okay, this is nice. And by the second time I saw it, I'm like, nope, they could have cut it. Didn't need it.
I've watched Captain Marvel 3 times now. I really liked it the first time. I was meh the second time. And now I'm just above meh, but not up to really liked it, if that makes sense on what I'm saying. So it's I went up and down and then kind of back up, and I'm at a good place with it. But I 100% agree with what you're saying, Sarah, across the board. You and I are aligned 100% on that because I absolutely agree with you.
Yeah. Sarah, were you talking about the whole where all the women in Endgame kind of met up and brought the gauntlet?
No, that was a whole comic series, right?
That was awesome. She's talking about the scene where how she gets knocked.
Can I talk?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Shit.
That just.
I think Jesse needs to be put into the back room.
Right.
In the white void.
And then he shows his dirty feet on camera. Nice.
Oh Lord! But it's the part where they show a montage of Carol getting knocked down. During which fight was it? Now I need you to talk.
I know what you're talking about now. I remember what you're talking about.
And then they start showing the montage of like Carol as like a 6-year-old girl standing up all the way to like current Captain Marvel, like standing up and kicking whoever's ass it was. Like that was a little unnecessary.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the end game scene where all the women got together was totally forced, but that's just me.
I mean, but did you like it though?
You have all of these women fighting all throughout the thing, and they're all going to get together all at once and be like, "Hey, we got your back. we're all here." Did they like?
I mean, I liked the moment. I thought it was nice.
Them all there. I thought the moment was cool. I thought they did it better in not Endgame. What was the Infinity Saga movie, where it was Scarlet Witch and Black Widow and Okoye, and they were all fighting, taking down.
Oh yeah,
that was not forced. That just they all just happened to be there and take her down. Yeah. This one you could tell was fan service, and this one they were like, "Here, we got all the women together. Look how powerful all these women are."
But it was just still a cool moment. But I don't disagree with you, Darth. I agree with what you're saying.
And I think I excuse it because, like, with Endgame, there's a lot of moment of fan servicing in that movie. Because at the time, I mean, I think all of us were kind of wondering what comes next after Endgame.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have literally said, "Okay, Far From Home is our epilogue. Peace out, bitches. We're done." Yeah. Like, I mean, that could have been, or they could have. We don't know. So I think it's excused. But let's talk more about Black Widow. So let's talk about some of the things about this movie that was very fun. Like, let's start with the scene stealers. The scene stealers in this movie, by far, in my opinion, are Red Guardian and Yelena.
I mean, sure, Red Guardian was great, but I don't know, kind of the.
Yelena was a scene stealer?
She really annoyed me. I'm not gonna lie.
Darth, jump in. I know you got something to say.
She did. Look, just let me finish. It annoyed me because you know how we were just talking about how certain things felt forced. Yeah. I feel like her comedy element felt forced, where certain jokes were carried on way too long, and there were just weird things that she would react to that just really bothered me. Like when she's gonna get killed and she's laying on the table and they're like scoping out her brain to like cut her head open, and she's just like, "Oh well, I guess this is the way I'm gonna die." I'm like, what the fuck line is that? Like, who even wrote that? Like, I don't know. It was shit like that sprinkled that she said throughout that really annoyed me. And I feel like that character dragged down the Black Widow character really, really bad. That's actually one of the parts about the movie I didn't like the most, was her character. Not going to lie, throwing it out there. I know Darth disagrees. I know Sarah disagrees. I know Jesse disagrees. And I'm sure most people watching, whether it's live or later, I'm sure you're all like, "John, you're a fucking moron." And you know what? That's okay. I'm allowed to not like something.
You guys have known John for about 14 years now. He is a fucking moron.
I didn't like the character. I really didn't. I'm not going to lie. I love Red Guardian, even though he was kind of bumbly a couple of times. But, I mean, obviously I'll be cosplaying him for the rest of my life. But, yeah, I mean, just, yeah, that was one of my biggest pain points with the movie was her. I'm not going to lie. All right, you guys talk now. I don't want to keep harping on it.
I like Yelena. I like the Red Guardian. I think the movie was as much Yelena's as it was Scarlett Johansson's. I thought they played well off of each other. A good sister sibling rivalry. Because I know when I'm with my brothers, our mentality drops down to that of like 4-year-olds.
Sure. Yeah. Same with my brother and I.
When you get together, you just have fun. So they haven't seen each other in a very long time. I was even reading some stuff where the whole gag about Natasha posing, doing the superhero posing and that kind of stuff, that was not scripted. That was all Florence Pugh, or however you pronounce her name, was making fun of Scarlett Johansson for always posing and stuff, and the director saw it, loved it, and put it in the movie. It's just one of those things that it's just like, sibling rivalry. I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought this, the sisterhood between those two was great. And of course, the Red Guardian, as the resident large guy of the group.
Hey, there. You're not the only one, Darth. Okay, don't try to claim ownership here.
As the largest guy in the group, then come on now. I loved it. I loved all of his war stories, all of his stories, and the fact that none of it could have been true. Right. So it was. I really, really enjoyed Yelena.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All those characters were great. I mean, one of the things I liked about Red Guardian is that they actually framed his character based upon a little bit of Ricky Gervais's character from The Office, that bumbling boss, because he kind of has that sort of attitude where I love when they just crash land from the helicopter. They're on a mission to save people who are mind control, and all he can think of is like, hey, you talk about me? What? He tell war stories and stuff like that. Captain America. I love just all this shit is happening, and he needs to know that he is. And I like that he was this bumbling character. The one thing that could have tied it together perfectly with his character is if Taskmaster, who has memorized and is a great mimic of other people's fighting techniques and stuff like that, I kind of wish Taskmaster had difficulty fighting Red Guardian because he wasn't noteworthy enough to study. I think that would have been.
I like where you're going with that, actually. Yeah. I really like that. That actually makes a whole lot of sense. I think I would have liked to have seen that. I like where you're going with that, to be honest. Sure. I really do. I watched it. I'm like, Guardian. I'm like, Taskmaster's not going to know what to do because I know for sure shit that he didn't watch any of his fights. He's doing unorthodox shit. And Taskmaster's like, I don't know what to do. Nothing makes sense. But that was my prediction with that. But so Sarah, what do you think regarding these scene-stealing characters?
I like Yelena. I hate her in the comics. She's boring.
What about her in the comic books is boring?
She's just dry. And it could be that I just haven't read enough with her. I read the one series where Nat and I think Nick Fury kidnap her to bring her over to S.H.I.E.L.D., but I was just kind of like, eh.
That's how I felt about this movie, but anyways, continue.
Don't start with me.
Well, didn't Yelena have a drug problem in the comics?
Okay, so I remember reading something where she had a drug problem, and I've seen TikToks where they posted pictures of Florence Pugh dressed as Yelena, and they just keep going drugs, and I for a full 30 seconds. And I went through, we have that Marvel, or I have the Marvel comic book app, and was trying to find the freaking series where she's a drug addict, and I can't find it. So I don't know if this is a fever dream that we all have, because I've seen multiple TikToks.
That we think, we have the weird Mandela effect of drugs.
It's that Shazam movie. It's the Sinbad's genie movie all over again.
Dude, don't even bring it up.
That's real. The government's hiding.
Do not tarnish Sinbad's movie repertoire with that. Just keep on moving.
They're hiding it. But I think it could be a weird Mandela effect.
It could be.
It could be. You never know. But other than that, these characters, they were incredible. I liked them. Now, John, we didn't get a chance to ask you what you thought about some of these scenes. Oh, wait, we talked about Yelena. I forgot. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not agreeing that she's necessarily a scene stealer, but I agree that Red Guardian and Black Widow definitely stole scenes. That villain was so negligible to me to even care about. I don't even remember his name, but I think that would be the definition of not being a scene stealer. So
are we talking Taskmaster or Dreykov?
No, Dreykov. Yeah, the Dreykov, whatever the hell his name is. So look, you also have to understand that this is out of my scope of knowledge. So the Infinity Saga is pretty much where I'm at. So anything outside of that, you probably lost me. And some of the intricate things within that. So for example, S.H.I.E.L.D., I never read into S.H.I.E.L.D. or really cared about that when I was reading other comics. So I'm really loose on that kind of stuff still. That's why I like to have Darth and Sarah on this show, because they can fill in these gaps that Jesse and I have with stuff. So, it's great to have them on here too. But, Red Guardian and Black Widow for me, but really, I don't feel like anybody else really stole the scene in this movie. So maybe the mom did, but then it was that weird thing that let's just turn this into Mission Impossible in the third act. I don't know. That was really weird. Well, I'm sure we'll get there soon. So maybe I'll save that one for, 20 minutes from now when we get there.
Someone else that stole a scene, Alexi the pig.
Yes.
He definitely stole a scene or two.
I guess we could say like the town of Ohio stole the scene, because why the hell would anybody be thinking 20 years later, you know what I want in life? I want to move back to Ohio, a simple place during a simple time where I have great memories. Yeah, so I'm going to count Ohio as a Steven Sealer.
My buddy,
John, I've done that. I lived in LA. I moved back to Ohio.
Darth, you are a gift to Ohio. I agree, and we thank you for that.
Thank you.
They pretty much implied that Nat is buried in Ohio.
Yeah, they pretty much did.
Yeah, because like when Val comes out to the grave, she's like, I'm allergic to the Midwest. So it was like, oh shit.
Oh, okay.
One of the funny things I like, and one of my friends and comedians named Destin Richardson, he had a joke, was like, how depressing was Yelena and Tasha's life if they just think about their good times in Ohio all the time?
Right, exactly. He's totally right. Like, I've never seen anybody that excited to not only go to Ohio, but go back to Ohio. Like, you got
I mean, he was happy when he went to Ohio, but then
you became a global traveler, and your goal in life was, I can't wait to get back to Ohio. What? Like, you want to come back?
You're describing my life. I too am a global traveler. I came back.
You came back, Darth. You came back.
Speaking of coming back to location,
spent multiple months over in Europe and spent a year in LA.
Hey, Jesse, we got a pretty good comment here from Desiree. Let's go ahead and throw that up and address it.
Yelena was awesome for comic relief. Over and over, I thought she was great. I really dislike what they did with Taskmaster.
Yep.
They wanted to give some tragic backstory, and it just didn't work.
Totally agree.
All right, so you know what? Thank you so much. Let's talk about Taskmaster. Thank you so much, Desiree. That was a good transition. So let's talk about Taskmaster. So essentially, with that character, I'm blanking on his first name, but essentially, Taskmaster, his last name is Master, and he's First name Task, right? Yeah.
Oh my God, did that just happen?
I feel like I set it up and it's my fault, but it is my fault.
It is your fault.
It is, and essentially, he's the villain to most the Avengers.
Yeah, he's mainly Avengers.
Yeah. And with this storyline, they changed the backstory heavily for those people that just need refresher. The storyline they went with in Black Widow is not of the original storyline. The original storyline, obviously, is just kind of a random assassin that goes after the Avengers. But in this one, it's Dreykov's daughter. Plot twist. And for me, not knowing enough about Taskmaster and not giving too much of a shit, I didn't mind it, but then again, I didn't mind when Guy Pearce turned out to be the Mandarin, where that pissed everybody off. But
sorry, that was my brain resetting and refiring. My bad. Please continue, Jesse.
Oh my God. Okay,
wow. I blacked out for a minute. Whoa. Okay, I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Do you have a Taskmaster shirt right now? Where was your Taskmaster action figures?
No, you're focusing on the wrong thing here. But please continue. Continue.
Okay, so my point is, there are certain elements they took liberties with, like Star-Lord isn't Ego's son and stuff like that, and they did it with this. I didn't mind it, but then again, I'm not attached to the source material of Taskmaster. But let me talk to you guys about it, as well as Sarah and Darth. Darth, I saw you nodding earlier about the change they made to Taskmaster. So shed some light on the whole issue.
First off, his name is Tony Masters.
Thank you, Desiree.
I looked it up while Desiree was typing. I didn't. I knew of Taskmaster, reading books. I was never a huge Avengers fan, so I really didn't get into Taskmaster when he was a villain there. I really kind of got into Taskmaster when he kind of teamed up with Deadpool. When Udon Studios took over Deadpool and kind of paired up Taskmaster with him, changed his outfit, changed everything up. It was really cool looking. Fell in love with the character, and then when I heard that Taskmaster was going to be a villain in this movie, I'm like, sweet, this is going to be pretty cool. And see how how they interact with Black Widow, knowing all of the moves, doing everything. And right when they said when Black Widow was like, yeah, I accidentally let the daughter die, I'm like, he's going to be goddamn Taskmaster.
Yep.
And lo and behold, he was goddamn Taskmaster. I'm like,
could we just
you ruined Ghost for me, because Ghost is also another villain that I truly love. And he's
Ghost,
a creepy old man that never takes off the suit. It kind of phases it back and forth, and they change.
Isn't that, I didn't mean to cut you off, but about his suit, isn't that like a Pimtech suit or designed from that concept or something?
Not that I remember.
I thought it was. Maybe I'm thinking something else. Anyways, continue. Ignore me. I'm way off today.
I normally do ignore you, John. It's okay.
I know. Everybody does.
So when they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna make Taskmaster of this person in Natasha's past that she has to save and convert and be a good guy, and that's not Taskmaster.
Right.
Marvel has a tendency of ruining villains. They make them really good, and some of the villains they do really well, but they have a tendency of killing them off or converting them to become a good guy. And I would like to see just a bad guy just run rampant for a while. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to reuse them over and over and over again, but have the bad guy out there. They did that with Loki, and Loki's a great bad guy that they keep bringing back over and over and over again.
Well, fingers crossed, Darth, that when we finally get Doctor Doom, because that's happening now, maybe that will be the first entry in your wish being fulfilled. Fingers crossed.
Don't put the cart in front of the horse there, John.
I'm just being optimistic, all right? All I've ever wanted in life was to see a correct Doctor Doom on film, and it has not happened. So, fingers crossed.
They'll find someone. They'll kill him off in like the Ant-Man movie, and I'm just like, what?
He's lost in the quantum realm. Bye-bye, Doctor Doom. Wait, what?
Aren't they bringing Kang into Ant-Man?
I heard they're bringing Kang into Ant-Man, so we're gonna see. Yeah, so we're gonna see how that goes.
Quantum Mania, the bad guy is going to be Kang the Conqueror.
That's gonna be crazy. But real quickly, before we get too far into Ant-Man, I want to talk about one glaring detail in the Black Widow that kind of got wrecked a little bit. Since 2012, we've had the romanticizing of Budapest. Always talked about, hey, just like Budapest. Yeah, Hawkeye and
are you saying Budapest?
Right? Yeah, are you saying it correctly?
I don't think you are. Budapest.
I didn't think you pronounced the T. I thought it was Budapest.
It's like Barcelona.
Okay, so anyways, I pronounce it like the guy in the movie, not like I'm sorry.
Anyway, I love how we're giving people wrong phonetic information right now. It's great.
Anyways, so my point is, they've been romanticizing killing a girl for 12 years, essentially.
I mean, sure.
Just like Budapest. Remember that time she walked in and she's like, Dad, look, I got an A. Oh, no.
I mean, sometimes you got to kill a kid to get revenge. I don't fault Black Widow's logic.
And to defect to America. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you know what I mean? You kill a kid, you get to defect to America, you get a job, you're SHIELD. How many people can immigrate and get a job that quickly?
Well, look, if someone kills your kid, just marry the president. One. And you're good. I mean, You lose one, you make another one, and then maybe that one's better. So then you lucked out in the end. That's called a gain. That's called a step up.
Darth, that one came in. That was all lean right there. That was a good one. But anyways, so let's go back into Desiree's comment that Kang is supposed to be the new Thanos. So that's gonna be very now. Let's now that she's bringing in the whole future, let's talk about future with this movie. What did this movie do to set up for the rest of the movies? Because Marvel is all about what comes next. What little thing can we throw in this movie? So let's talk about theories. Let's talk about setups that were in Black Widow. One of the biggest glaring ones that existed was what was supposed to be the first appearance of Val. Her first appearance became in Winter Soldier, or Falcon versus Winter Soldier. That was supposed to be the second, but it became the first due to productions and having COVID, switching everything around. But yeah, no. So Sarah, I know you had some comments on Val, like what they're trying to set up, and I know we kind of go back and forth about. But why don't you? Yeah,
I can't tell if she's setting up Thunderbolts because now when they brought in Ross and he looks kind of sick,
like real sickly. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, okay, are they gonna make him? It's Red Hulk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought like, oh, okay, are they gonna set up Red Hulk? So that's what I think. But also, has anybody else noticed that the TVA logo, if you flip it upside down, it spells Val?
I did not notice that, but thank you for blowing my mind. And now I'm not going to be able to unsee that.
I think that's a giant reach out there. I think
I'm gonna look that up real quickly because that image. Yeah. Oh wow.
See.
So okay. So I'm gonna show you all. I'm gonna show you an image of the TVA first. Okay. Just so that we see it in the order. So here is. Hold on one second.
I'm sorry. I'm like derailing everything.
It's okay.
You're fine. These are the best shows.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, well, it's what the show usually is. Us derailing. So there's the TVA as seen in Loki.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna zoom out of this and look over here.
Doesn't look like a stretch to me, Darth. Looks intentional.
Aha.
And if you stand it on its end, it looks like a skyscraper.
Of course, you have to. You have to.
No.
And then if it's crooked, it almost it looks like an on-ramp.
God.
I think they're going to go more towards the Dark Avengers and still have the Red Hulk be part of the Dark Avengers, just to kind of throw everyone a bone or something like that. It could be the Thunderbolts because they are talking about, Deadpool's going to be coming into the Marvel universe. So that just kind of opens a whole bunch more. I'd love to see the Punisher join them, but I'd rather see a Dark Avengers.
Yeah. And like I said, having Val show up, it's and the comment about, is this your third triple bypass, Ross? Stuff like that. It does make it very apparent that something is brewing. And that's Marvel's always done that. They have always had these little things, nothing is done accidental or incidentally. There's always something building. So that's something we've noticed with this movie. So this movie, in retrospect, will set up possibly Dark Avengers and or Thunderbolts.
I think the main thing for this movie was setting up to pass the torch to Yelena, which I like, but I don't like. I just bring that back.
Well, they filmed two different versions of the end credit scene, right?
Oh no, and it's pissing me off.
Could you elaborate on the second end credit scene for those that haven't?
I missed it because we left the theater before.
So the first end credits, the original end credit scene is Yelena's cleaning up the gravestone of Natasha, and she whistles the Hunger Games little theme song that they whistled when they were kids. And she did her part, and then nothing. And then Val showed up and was like, "Hey, You want to kill the person that killed your sister? Here's Clint Barton. And that was pretty much the end of it. The scene that they actually filmed was she did the, again, Hunger Games little whistle thing. And then in the background, you hear someone whistle back. And that was supposed to fade to black. So it kind of was like, oh, she's actually alive. Knowing Marvel, knowing what they're doing, I wouldn't be surprised if they just all of a sudden change it out of nowhere and start showing that end credit scene on Disney Plus.
I could see that happening.
I could see that
because of what happened in Loki, and because they've already retconned WandaVision. They did a scene, and there was another scene somewhere where they changed something up. It was very minuscule. It was just like a wording on something. They changed it after the fact. So I wouldn't be surprised if, knowing Marvel, knowing DC, let's go ahead and change a couple scenes and a couple of movies just to make people go back and rewatch all these movies.
Yeah.
My thought on the whole thing was, because here's the thing, I'm going to say this right now. Since Black Widow has died, and I know the Russo brothers said that, everything has consequences, it's done. I don't believe it. I never really bought into the whole idea that that exchange is permanent, because by that logic, he could never return the stone if the exchange is permanent. It's not a one-way street; it's a two-way street. But also, I think they're messing with stuff, and they're also telling us. Oh yes,
I have something to add.
Add.
Up until this movie, I was convinced they were going to bring Nat back through the Red Room clone thing, where the Red Room creates a clone of Nat, but she still defects to S.H.I.E.L.D. I was positive they were going to do that, but then they fucking killed off Dreykov.
But the other thing the other thing is,
I would have liked that a lot better.
The other thing
that would have made it a much better movie for me. I'll actually, Sarah, if that's what happened in the movie, I probably would have actually liked this movie. Guaranteed. That would have been so much better than what we got. But it is what it is.
But what also this movie does is it messes with time traveling again. Because there is a part of me that actually totally believes that Red Guardian did fight Captain America. As much as he sounds like kind of a blowhard, there's a part of me that thinks, what if, because the TVA, we learned with Loki that time traveling isn't what we think it is. Time traveling is played fast and loose in the Marvel universe. Let's just say that that's just the truth. So my thing is, what if he really did fight Captain America? Maybe
you also have to remember
a post-Endgame.
Back in the 80s or whatever, whenever he said he was supposed to be fighting him, Captain America was around. There was a Captain America in the 80s and in the 70s and in the 60s.
I can get down on this, but
he might have been a little bit older.
He might have been older. Yeah. Because at one point she died. He asked Natasha, "Hey, does he remember me?" Because at the end, he knows it was Steve Rogers he fought. He just maybe doesn't know the age, as Darth has indicated. So my thing is, I think he did fight a post-Endgame
just an old
villain.
Man Cap.
Yeah, an old man Cap.
But when would that would have? That's what I'm struggling with. So I'm good with the fact that they had a fight at some point in time. I'm good with that. But I think it's the when that's going to make or break it. I don't know we're talking fan theory stuff. But
83, 82 is what they threw out in the movie. Again, it could just be Red Guardian being a blowhard, but at the same time, what if?
But I mean, in the 80s, once Captain America went back in time and then stayed there, he wouldn't have been an old man. He would have been middle-aged by the 80s, so he probably could have hung in a fight. That would have made a little sense. Cold War time,
He's old man Cap that was in Endgame. We'd still kick the shit out of anybody.
I don't know, man. He looked pretty fragile like Matt Damon did in Private Ryan, so I'm not convinced he's going to kick anybody's ass.
And yet, Old Man Cap didn't stop any tragedies in the world.
No, just let it happen.
Just let all of it happen.
Oh, can stop 9/11. No, we're going to let it happen.
Think about it. He let Sandy Hook happen.
Oh, see, it's back to the killing kids. I told you guys.
He had to keep the prime timeline going.
Or else the TVA would watch
it. And the TVA jumped in and set it back.
So you're telling me that the TVA is also responsible for 9/11 a little bit.
No, you're making that conclusion up. No one made that assertion.
Way to jump to conclusions there.
I'm just like they stop it, and all of a sudden the TVA is like, no, has to happen.
Oh my God, killing kids, 9/11. What else are we going to talk about?
The TVA. Kang even said it in Loki. Yeah, I'm a horrible guy. I've done horrible things, but there are people way worse than me. So, I mean, knowing that and thinking about that idea, as horrible as it is, only makes you imagine how much worse are the other Kangs.
I mean, sure.
Do you want to?
Sure.
We're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out exactly.
Are we?
Also, if you play the Marvel Lego video game, they have it for Switch. Kang is the villain in that.
I might have to play that.
It was like really cheap, at least on the Nintendo eShop. I think I bought it for like $7.
Oh, that's worth it. Yeah, they've been having a lot of sales on there recently.
Yeah. But real quick, I just want to throw this comment up just to kind of conclude our theories. Oops, sorry, wrong one. Yeah, Val could be in cahoots with Nick Fury. Last we saw of Nick Fury, he was in space. He's off the grid entirely.
He's in space.
Just fucking chilling.
Just in space. So, I mean, because the theory is that Sharon Carter was talking to him at the end of Winter Soldier, Falcon and Winter Soldier. You know,
okay.
So maybe she isn't as double of an agent as we think. We might think good, bad, when it might just be good Nick Fury. And that's happened before. Think about it. In the Winter Soldier movie, it was us versus part of our government that was corrupted by Hydra. So, yeah.
But if you're going with the whole Sharon Carter thing, she's probably not even related to Peggy Carter in the MCU.
Okay.
Just saying.
But that would be better for Steve because he kissed her too. So
hey, if it's okay with Luke and Leia, it's okay with
yeah, right.
Sharon and Cap.
I love. Someone had a joke about the Star Wars movies, like you think your fucking movie's intense? Mine had incest.
Right.
Like mine just straight up had it and didn't give a shit. They didn't talk about it. They just looked at each other like, yeah, we're brother sister, so what?
Yeah, you're right. Sidebar. Once they find out and he tells her at the Ewok village, why was there no reaction to 3 years ago on Hoth, right? Want to go ahead and forget that? Yeah, sure. Let's talk about your mother that you seem to remember when you were an infant. Let's do that.
Yeah. Oh my God. But good point. Yeah, I mean, that's a franchise builder. That's what it's all about. Hold on.
Builder. Incest is always a good franchise builder.
Look, hey, no, Game of Thrones Game of Thrones first episode, brother and sister, and then knock the younger brother out the window. It happened.
I don't even know about Game of Thrones.
You don't want to know. Why is this still fun when I know little to nothing about Marvel movies? I need to jump in soon. Yeah.
Absolutely, Tom. And look, they're all on Disney Plus, man. Just jump in, start number one, and go. What do you mean, not all of them?
Except
show me Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man's not up in Incredible.
Okay, sorry.
What now?
Sorry, that's on Stars. My bad. Those are on Stars. Most people have Stars, so there you go.
That's why
I don't have Stars.
Yeah, and yeah, like I said, with the Black Widow movie, and we kind of talked about this. This movie I felt was, it was a very much character-driven movie over plot movie, because this kind of gave us some sort of character understanding of Nat. It made her sacrifice even more amazing in Endgame, in my opinion, because I know, but like we got to see her have a family. We got to see her, when she was out hiding, she wasn't just hiding; she was fighting and saving people, and sending Elena out to go save these other mind slaves to Dreykov's empire. And on top of that, she got the ride to go save the other Avengers in that little floating prison. She got the raft or whatever it is. Raft.
Yeah.
Raft.
Are we going to talk about the best part of the whole movie?
What is that?
Yelena's vest. It's about all these pockets. All of the pockets. And I also love the fact that when she shows up in Infinity War, she's wearing the vest.
Yeah, that makes it worse.
So it's a callback to another movie.
Yeah. I think, weren't people theorizing that Yelena went in the snap or something now too?
Yeah,
they're saying that she was snapped away.
Well, there, Des picked up on it.
But yeah, that would
those pockets.
I'm waiting for Hot Topic to sell that vest for like $80.
You know they're going to. If Hot Topic doesn't do it, Party City will have it for $29.99. Guaranteed. So I want to jump in here. So yeah, I definitely agree this was more of a character film than a plot film, and that's what I really didn't like about it, but then liked about it. So I liked Red Guardian. I liked Black Widow. I don't think I cared about any other character in this movie. Really didn't care about Draco. Really didn't care about Taskmaster, aka his daughter, who's kind of like burnt, but not really, and I don't know. All that mind control shit was dumb. And I just think that to me, this movie was just fucking filler. It was, hey, we need to give ScarJo another movie because of the contract. Let's make this. Well, how do you want to make it? She's dead. I got a great idea. As soon as she goes into hiding for not signing that piece of paper, we're going to invent this whole thing where she decides, hey, I think I'm going to take down the agency that trained me. Yeah, let's do that. And then we're going to go into this whole big thing with this floating city and this Red Guardian and all these widows. And it's going to be huge. And there's going to be explosions and people are going to be flying. And then it's going to end and that's it. And I'm just like, the whole time I'm watching this movie, I'm just like, it doesn't really need to actually exist. It only exists to fulfill somebody's contract. And that really took me out of it.
I think
not going to lie.
I think it was more for the fans. Just because you have Captain Marvel's movie, and
I agree.
So it's kind of like you can't. So let's say they bring in another. Let's say Wasp gets her own movie. Ant-Man just fucks off. You can't,
now that could be fun.
You can't.
Ant-Man fucks off. Put that in the tagline. The Wasp. Ant-Man fucks off. Or Ant-Man get fucked. There you go.
Anyway, you can't go from like Captain Marvel to Wasp, and then like I don't know, fucking She-Hulk or whatever. And
I agree.
Yeah, and then not have Nat have one, because I'm not gonna lie, when I got into Marvel, which was like super fucking late in the game, the entire time I was bugging him. I'm like, where the fuck is Nat's movie? Like, what the fuck? And then he took me to see Captain Marvel. I'm like, this is great. Where the fuck is Nat's movie?
So I agree that Black Widow needed a movie. I just didn't like this movie is the one they were like, here it is. If it was a completely different movie, I probably would have liked it a lot better.
I was hoping for the clone Red Room storyline, or that
would have been awesome.
That, or there's a face-off storyline where
to take her face
off. She switches faces with Yelena. Yelena is still with the Red Room or some shit, and she switches her face so Nat can go like fuck up the Red Room people. And then they try to defect Yelena to S.H.I.E.L.D. Oh. I was like hoping, like, you know, what if they did the face-off thing and Yelena like fell off Yelena fell off Vormir and it wasn't Nat, and then like
I would have appreciated that.
Yelena.
But you know, it's again, face-off would have been cool, but instead we got Mission Impossible with her mom. So they tried, but they didn't succeed.
Marvel
tried ScarJo being Florence Pugh being ScarJo, and Florence Pugh being ScarJo being Florence Pugh.
Is that what happened? Oh my god! How did nobody ever figure that out? Holy shit!
I kind of want them to remake Face Off with those two now.
There's probably an edit on YouTube, like there has to be.
Yeah.
If you Google Yelena and Nat, it's one of the first things that'll pop up on a Google search. It'll be like storylines you didn't know about Black Widow, and it just says Face Off.
I would have really liked either that or, to your point, the cloning of the Red Room stuff. To me, that's what is interesting. And what we got shown, I wasn't interested in other than a couple of things. And I realize I'm just talking about myself. I'm not talking about it. I know everybody else loved it, and that's great. But for me, just in my opinion, so this is John's opinion, We're not talking facts. In my opinion, it's down on that bottom tier with those couple of, you got your Thor down there. Yeah, say what you want. I didn't like it. You got your Edward Norton Hulk movie. Yeah, I didn't like it. And yeah, I like the Eric Bana one better. Yeah, I said it, and I'm proud of that. So, for me, Black Widow goes way down on that list. It can't be a top 10. Can't be. I knew Darth was going to do that.
Poodle.
That's why I said it.
Gamma Poodle. Gamma Poodle.
I love it.
Gamma Poodle.
Oh,
you were wrong, John.
I know.
I knew Darth was going to get upset when I said that, but I can't help the way I feel about it. Just like how I can't help the fact that I like Thor Dark World much better than I like the first Thor. And again, I realize I'm crazy and nobody agrees with this.
No, I agree with you on that one, though. Dark World's better than the first Thor.
I hate that first Thor movie. I was so mad I saw that in the theater. I'm like, what is this?
The first, and not to get too off track, they didn't know how to do Thor's movie correctly.
I agree. It was early. I understand. It was early on.
Kenneth Branagh. He was just a Shakespearean director, and they just kind of shoehorned Thor into a Shakespearean movie, essentially. But besides the point. So we're running short on time in a little bit. I know we're down to the last 10 minutes or so. But
let's start to wrap up here. Let's do our final thoughts and kind of our final what we want to say about it and transition out so we don't have to talk about this movie again.
I'll just say with this movie, it had stakes, but it had to also have low stakes because you got to keep in mind they didn't want to do anything too big, contradict the already laid out storyline between Civil War and Infinity War.
Right.
They had to kind of keep it because if anything too big happened, it would have messed up the storyline. So they were able. I was very impressed how they were able to make these high stakes in a very low stake environment. Like I said, gave great backstory on Nat. Would have loved the original ending where Nat was alive because let's face it, I don't believe in that whole Vermeer bullshit. I don't. I really don't. I know everybody's like, oh, the exchange is final. If it was true, how do you put the stone back? But I'm just gonna let that go. Sarah.
Okay, I want to point out this was another TikTok that I saw. By the way, Marvel TikTok, it's where it's at. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10. Somebody did a math equation of Hawkeye's life and Nat's life, and they said Hawkeye spent 32% of his life with his kids. Nat only spent 8% of her life with her family.
There you go.
Ergo, Hawkeye should have died. Fight me.
I think either one of them were interchangeable. I would have been fine with either one of them dying, to be honest.
Scarlett Johansson costs X amount of money.
Yeah, right.
Renner costs X amount of money.
Yeah. Although he's a great actor, let's be honest, she's a little above him now in pay scale.
All right.
But both actors are equally problematic.
So, Jesse, I want to real quick comment on what you said about the stakes. I didn't feel like there were any stakes in this movie. And in fact, I feel like the movie invented its own stakes so it can exist. So hear me out. If certain catalysts did not exist to make Black Widow decide, you know what? While I'm on this break from the Avengers, I'm just going to fucking take down the whole Red Room. That shit's going to happen right now. And oh, by the way, I'm going to get my family back. Okay. Well, if that didn't happen, then nothing would have happened, and she wouldn't have gone on this action cavalcade while she was in between movies. So I don't feel like there's any stakes because none of this had to actually happen. It was forced to happen. And that also bothers me because I watched the whole movie and I'm like, literally, none of this movie even needed to happen at all. And so I didn't feel any stakes. That's why I didn't care about anybody when I watched the movie, because the only guy I cared about was Red Guardian. Well, and Black Widow, but outside of that, I give a shit.
Yeah. I think a lot of storylines happen on happenstance. I mean, look at Guardians of the Galaxy 2. So happened Ego was where he was when he saved Star-Lord and his friends from that alien race that was trying to kill them. That was happenstance. I mean, there's a world where there is a TV show right now Marvel's developing called the What If series. So, I'm
excited for that. I think
that, what you're saying is, what if what if Black Widow just laid low? What
right. Like, that's the thing is, like, it didn't have to happen.
Moonraker. She just finished watching Moonraker, and she's like, you know what? I'm going to get to the Daniel Craig James Bond movie while I'm at it. You know? She could have she was having a James Bond movie in a marathon in the trailer. Good for her. I would have done that. But point is, I think they had to create big stakes in a no-stake environment that could destroy continuity. That was
okay. I'll give you that. The way you explain that, I will agree with that 100%. Thank you for repositioning it that way, because I do fully agree with what you just said. Makes total sense.
I think the main takeaway from this movie is they introduced a new Black Widow. They introduced Yelena. This movie, like I said before, this movie is almost as much about Yelena as it was about Natasha.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
The stakes was to bring Yelena out from the Red Room, out of their control, and bring her closer to becoming an Avenger.
Yes.
And I have a feeling after the fact, they're going to do some sort of thing. I think she's already confirmed for the Hawkeye series. I think she's going to be probably part of the big bad. That's going to try to take down Clint Barton. But I have a feeling going forward, she's going to be known as the Black Widow.
Makes sense.
And I also want to give out a cool shout out to young Net, who I found out today was played by Mila Jovovich's daughter.
Oh, really?
I thought she looked very familiar.
I agree with you. She looks
like a young Mila Jovovich.
She looks familiar.
I guess playing a badass runs in the family for them, I guess.
Yes.
That's all I can say on that. But
yeah, going off of it, that was my takeaway from this movie. Yeah, to John's point, did this movie need to happen? Continuity wise, no. Fan service, yes.
Sure.
To appease everyone about, Black Widow needed to have a movie. She should have had a movie well before this.
I agree. And I probably would have liked it way better because it would have been a completely different movie had they done it 5 years ago.
Also, this, I think, was Marvel's take on a family movie more than anything else. Marvel's kind of branching out. They're doing a horror movie. They're doing a family type movie. They've done space opera kind of movies. They've done the spy movie. That's
what makes Marvel so successful. Is that they're good at genre bending so much. I mean, with, like I said, if you're into space movies, you're gonna love Guardians of the Galaxy. You love Thor Ragnarok. You like heist movies, you gotta go watch Ant-Man. Do you like, they have a genre for every movie.
If you like spy movies, the Winter Soldier. It's because I know a lot of people that are not big superhero fans that love the Winter Soldier because it's more of a spy movie than it is a superhero movie.
You like a high school movie where growing pains of growing up? Spider-Man: Homecoming. Far from a movie about grieving and growing up. Far From Home. Which, by the way, Homecoming. I love how Homecoming was secretly an Iron Man 3 movie in that Tony Stark he was teaching him the lesson that he learned in Iron Man 3. The whole if you are nothing without the suit, then you should not have the suit at all. And I'm just like, oh my God. Brilliant.
So real quick before we finish, I want to just get everybody's 10-second final thought on Black Widow. And then as we close out, we're going to play a little favorite game. So, Darth, you go first. 10 seconds about Black Widow.
I enjoyed it. I'm glad I got it on Disney Plus instead of going to the theater for it. I just don't think it was needed to be in a theater.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sarah?
I loved it. She needs to have one more movie before they completely pass it on to Yelena. But it was good. It was a solid Marvel movie.
Yep.
A
solid Marvel movie under so many constraints and restrictions. And again, I think Marvel shines when it's under duress because then they get extra creative. And I thought they did a very good job with this movie.
Gotcha. So I liked it, but I didn't like it. I think it's forgettable, but I liked Red Guardian. I liked Black Widow. I'm glad that she finally got a movie of her own, but this movie just didn't do it for me.
Yep. All right.
All
well,
right.
What's the game we got?
As we wrap up, and look, I'm going to try to draw this out so that nobody can think ahead. So why don't we give our closing first? And then we'll do the game so that nobody has time to think before I go into it.
A post-credit scene? Oh. The first Aki.
No, we're going to keep going, Darth. It's not going to be a post-credit scene because we can't stop the live feed but still broadcast. So I'd love to do that. But maybe we're kind of doing that. So, Jesse, before you run down our announcements, I do want to say that next week, guess what show we're doing? I changed it, and I didn't tell you until now because I wanted to wait.
What show are we doing, John?
We're doing Masters of the Universe. So you've got to watch those 5 episodes between now and then. And the total running time is less than a motion picture, so you should be able to knock that out. Got some cool, really good mega fans lined up who have different opinions across the spectrum. They liked it, kind of liked it, didn't like it. So it's going to be a lot of really good conversation about something that's new and current, and it's been resurrected from the 80s, and everyone's talking about it. There's a lot of opinions out there. There's a new toy line. It'll be a great conversation. Why don't you go ahead and run down our ending, and then we'll finish with our little game.
Thank you so much for everybody that tuned in. Desiree, thank you for firing up the comment section like crazy. You rock. I want to thank Darth. I want to thank Sarah for joining us on today's show. Like I said, you guys being so informative about Black Widow carried the show and definitely added a lot to this. So thank you so much. I want to thank Mr. Vance, the producer, for producing the goods as always. Yeah. Thank you guys. Yeah, that's what I do. Do goods. Yeah, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And we'll be back next week, 7 o'clock every Wednesday. And I'm going to whore myself real quick. I'm going to be at the Funny Bone this weekend on Sunday at 7 o'clock. Come on out to that, guys. I want to show them that I can bring people, man. I want to show them I can bring people because I want to stay in the Funny Bone. I want to do more shows at the Funny Bone. But first, I got to show them that I got it, and I want everybody there.
I mean, if I can get out of this white void, is going to be there.
If I can get out of this white void, Desi, I'm there.
We believe in you. We believe in you. We believe in you. Yes, there's no place. There's no place like home. You know. All right, hold on. We got one comment.
Oh, Ryan Francis snuck one in there. He was creep watching us.
Yes. I can't wait, Ryan.
So literally everybody featured right here in this pane is going to be at your show on Funny Bone. Ryan's playing. That's not true.
That's not true. Okay. I was like, wait, how? We're going to have a heist movie where he breaks in. But anyways, so let's play this game. So John, give us what you got.
Jesse, what's your favorite MCU movie? Go. No thinking.
Guardians 2.
Shit. Sarah?
Captain America and Winter Soldier.
Darth?
Ant-Man.
Mine's Iron Man 1. Close tie, 3-way tie between Iron Man 1, Ragnarok, and Winter Soldier.
Yep.
So, cool. Yeah, those are fun little game. Without thinking, what's number 1? But I guarantee you, if I asked all 4 of us that question tomorrow, it would probably be different answers.
I would have either said that, Thor, Ragnarok, or Iron Man 3. One of those 3. So, all right. So, anyways.
Wait, Iron Man 3 is a top favorite for you?
I mean, Tony Stark and his amazing friends? Because that's pretty much what Iron Man 3 is. Iron Man 3 is an abomination of a movie.
I mean,
okay, we don't even have time, guys.
There's not a lot of examples of good Guy Pearce movies out there. I just watched The Time Machine, so I can demonstrate the validity of that.
All right.
Tony Stark and the Funky Bunch.
It's Tony Stark and the Funky Bunch, right?
I love that. That's so great. Tony Stark and the Funky Bunch. That's so great. Oh my God.
That's why I'm funny. I'm around her all the time.
Yeah, I'm funny.
Yes.
All right, we're rambling. Let's close this thing out.
All right. Thank you guys so much for coming on out and listening. I'll see, for those that are listening, if you're coming to the Funny Bone, thank you. And I'll see you this Sunday. But until next time, I'm Jesse.
And I'm John.
And you've been sitting at the grown-ups table. Thank you. And have an awesome night, everybody. Take care.